Okay, well, here we are, folks. This is a very special presentation. It's vinyl tag time. David Atkinson has taken the helm this year, and I've got David's video. Hopefully, I've got his video here. Yeah, there it is. And, I couldn't be happier about this whole thing, right? We got that to do for one of the questions. So I think it's just going to be easier for me to live stream it and we'll take it on that way. Mellow Me Mind, best intro ever. Okay, best mellow needs a wrench. This is what I'm hearing from my producer. Okay, well, let me watch my own program then. If that's what it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. So Ghost 2 and bingo, bingo, mute me. There we go. Mellow Me Mind, number one. You're the number one crown for some reason. I don't know how it works. But anyway, welcome aboard. Okay, so 20 questions to get into. And I've got them here on my email all ready to go. So I'll just be popping in and out, back and forth from my email as we read these. Question number one, show your best vinyl or other formal musical purchase of 2025. Well, really, there was a little video I did, and I guess I could show that. Satan is here. We love you, Satan. Mello gets a wrench now. Yes, dark demon of the Lord Knight. He gets a wrench because he's a beautiful human and he's contributing to the vinyl community. Okay. So question number one, best purchase. So I did a video. I came across a series of long boxes, 12 long boxes, and what constitutes really the entirety of the Rolling Stones discography on compact disc from their inception, England's newest hit makers, all the way up to Still Life. So it covered quite a range of Stones albums, music, and Frank Mr. Stickermania, one of the great channels. Later on in this thing, one of the questions, who'd you like to meet? Put Frank in there as a guy I'd like to meet. Many people. I pretty much like to meet everybody. I'm definitely not Melody. I'm just mellow-minded, says mellow-minded one. That's okay. That's all right. Okay. So I would put down that as my favorite, but because I sold it, it's no longer in my possession, none of it. And Edwin, Pretty Green Vinyl guy, a guy I've happened to have met on a few occasions. I love Edwin, good guy. Here in Nanaimo, makes it easy to meet him. And I sold the remainder of the CDs to him, Rolling Stones discography. So that's all gone. What I do have, I'm going to put this as an honorable mention. What Frank is doing, it's not here, but it's on the way. It's supposed to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, is Beatles Anthology. But I did, in my eagerness, pick up Anthology 4. So honorable mention would be Anthology 4. But also in 2025, I've been collecting this series of sets on the Steve Wilson remasterings or remixings, really, of Jethro Tull. This one's called Still Living in the Past. They're beautifully produced. You get a whole bunch of CDs with these things. You get a couple of DVDs that they throw in. I love the packaging. And you get each edition comes with an essay. Okay, there's another one of the discs. But it talks all about the recording of the album, what was happening, what the group dynamics, what was happening within the band, who is coming, who is going, the touring that they did, where they went, who they saw, right? The recording, the whole story. It's all there in this beautiful, and you line these things up, and I've got all mine over in one of my shelving units. They are beautiful, just absolutely things of beauty. Funny thing about the vinyl tag, you end up with records going everywhere. So unfortunately, I think that's going to be the case once again today. But I'll do my best with whatever I'm able to do. All right, we got a couple of questions here that deal with, and this is why I'm doing a live stream. We can just kind of ease along with this and just enjoy the trip. So smoke them if you got them. You seniors know what I mean. Share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. Full disclosure, I don't see a lot of live acts anymore. It's just something I don't do. I'm very elderly. You know what? Joe Williamson says, Rach, I might live stream my response to this thing. Yeah, great idea. I've done it before. It's just sometimes it works well, given the context of everything. So that would be the thing. Um, so favorite live I saw a David Bowie impersonator that was really quite entertaining. He looked a bit like David, but it wasn't so much his look, although he could kind of pull it off. But it was more his mannerisms and characteristic Bowie-isms that he was able to do. Of course, David Bowie, what was it, 2016 we lost David, 2016? All those years ago. And Bowie's one of my favorites. I saw Bowie during his Spider tour. I want to say 1987, 89, somewhere in there. That period, I saw Bowie. Peter Frampton was with him. Frampton didn't do any of his own songs. He was just there as a hired, guitar gunslinger. But there you have it. So that is my favorite and soul live music encounter of 2025. The year previously, I was privileged to see my friend Joey Callio and his band Dada perform in Seattle Troubadour. Saw Mazzy and Waxed and Chance was there, concert buddy Harry. Just God, Juve. Everybody was there. It was an incredible, wonderful. Kimbo. Everybody was there. It was just great. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. It's that's the problem with these name dropping things. You always miss people that you'd like to include. Okay, so that was my favorite experience. Number 3, your vinyl collection in 10 years' time. Is it bigger? Is it smaller or about the same? Explain why. Mine will be the same. I'm done. It's a real estate issue. I've got only so much room in this house. I'm married to a beautiful female type human being that goes, you are not getting more of that stuff in here. There's no room for it. I want my house looking nice and not like some sort of record store. I went, okay. So I've got a collection that's roughly 1,500 albums. Yes, there'll be one or two added. It's not a complete stop, but we're down to a trickle. We're down to a trickle, right? And I'm happy with that. I've got all my beloved Beatles. I've got like 10 copies, pretty much, of each Beatles album. They did 13 albums during the entirety of their original run, right? 66, 70, 70, yeah. So that was it for the Fabs. 62, yeah, 62 to 70. That's it. 13 albums came out of that, a bunch of singles, and I got everything. I got freaking everything. All right. That's the status of the Beatles. So that's where that's at. So my collection is going to be the same. You move into a new home. You play one record. You turned it up to 11 to announce your arrival. Okay, so play it loud is the idea, right? Goes to 11. By the way, thoughts and prayers to the Rob Reiner family. Just came out news yesterday. He was murdered, him and his wife, and it was just a horrible thing. But of course, in Spinal Tap, the famous line, "It goes to 11." Why don't you make it go to 10 and make that the loudest? Yeah, but this goes to 11. Nigel Tufnell. Pleasant surprise to see this as I'm alone in the house. We're doing the 2026 David Atkinson iteration of the world famous vinyl community tag. And so play it loud, right? A record, you want to play it loud. My guru for all things metal, Thor, Mighty Thor, what is Thor's channel? Metal Thor, all metal Thor, whatever. I love Thor. Anyway, he's over in Germany. He loves Metallica, and they're a hell of a great band. I like their Black Album. I'm not the biggest metal person in the world, but I've got some metal. I got Iron Maiden. I've got Metallica. I've got I'm more hard rock, right? Black Sabbath, stuff like that. But this'll do. Metallica. So play it loud, right? Lightning. #1 thrash metal album of all time. That sells it to me. Beautiful sticker. But maybe I won't do that. Let's put this down here. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll play this album and just crank it the hell as loud as I can. You've never lived until you hear the dulcet tones of Mama being screamed. There's Mama. Where's Mama? There's Mama by Heinche. You play Heinche, and Heinche is kind of my mascot around here, kind of one of the icons of this channel. Rachel's Ghost 2. There's been a few of us. Heinche, there he is. So play Heinche, just crack it loud. And the reason I would play him loud is because, it's my moniker. It's the house symbol. The Rachel's Ghost channel. He's my boy. Rach, Rob Reiner was murdered by his son. Yeah, it's just horrible, Renee. Just a horrible, sad, a lamentable story. Anyway, so we wish the best for the Reiner family. And it's just a tragedy by every measure. All right, let's get back in the questions. Show 2 albums, one each of your favorite male and female singers. Now, this is interesting. A male, female singer. My favorite gal, we'll go with ladies first. My favorite gal singer, and I really love, oh boy, oh God, I'm trying to think of her name. Well, I kind of like Tammy Wynette too, but that's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the English girl. I just can't think of her right now because I'm elderly and I forget shit. But who I have in my hands is one of my favorites, definitely, Emmylou Harris. This is Profile Greatest Hits, and it's got the emotive, wonderful, moving, emotive, powerful tune on it called Boulder to Birmingham, about her love of Graham Parsons, who had he died of heroin overdose in his in a motel out in Joshua Tree Park. Dusty Springfield. That's who I was thinking of. Dusty Springfield. I love Dusty, but I'm a big fan of Emmylou. I got a lot of her albums. I got a whole section filled. I got about 14 or 15 Emmylou Harris albums, and I also have her on compact disc. I do collect both CDs and vinyl. My favorite male singer, not my favorite male artist. That belongs to Bob Dylan, solo artist, Bob Dylan solo. But my favorite male voice, nobody better than the legend, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. And he is the king, and nobody can take it away. And a big shout out to Ed at the King's Court. This is a 1962 Canadian mono press. So this came out in 1958, I want to say, 58 or 59. Elvis Golden Records. I have a couple of copies. I've also got an early stereo copy. But this one here is in glorious mono, 1962 Canadian press. Just love it. And it's got Hound Dog on it and, Heartbreak Hotel. So a lot of Teddy Bear, Blue Suede Shoes. Got a lot of the big hits. So this is one of the great Elvis comps I recommend to everybody. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. All right, Elvis. Now, the next question is kind of tough for me. Rachel, check out your sweet swinging long hair, Walters. I'm just a girl. All right. Thank you for that, Joel. Holy crap. All right. Question number 6. Number 6. We got 20 to go through. Hey, we like to have fun here. Show your top 3 soul dance records. And this is kind of neat about the whole idea of doing this thing, the vinyl community tag. I'm not a big record shower person. As you know, people that watch my show, you may get a record, maybe one out of me per episode, maybe not. But so this gives me an excuse to show the wares. Elvis, now we're talking. Okay, so next question, oh boy, this is a tough one for me. Show your top 3 soul and dance records. Now, I got some Supremes on CD. They're probably my favorite Motown act, the Supremes. I love them. Because, I was raised like so many of my generation on Ed Sullivan every Sunday. You'd wait to go to bed after a special episode where Topo Gigio had appeared. Eddie, what is it there, Topo? Eddie, can I have a kiss? Well, certainly, Topo. We'll give you a little kiss and send you off to bed, my little rodentary challenge friend. And then he'd send a little Topo off. So I don't have, but the emphasis here, the question, if you look at the question, I didn't put them in here. I'll put them in the description after the broadcast, is fun or dance. Motown soul dance is fun. I like dancing to this American Graffiti soundtrack. This is fantastic. It's got so much on it. So much on it. Come along and be my party doll. Buddy Knox is on here. We're going to rock around the clock tonight, right? Fantastic. Bill Haley. Concrete Jungle. Wasn't that the film? I think the Beatles went and saw it just so they could hear Chuck Berry. That was all they cared about. 16 Candles, the coasters makes me think of my good friend Johnny, another person I'd love to meet in real life. You know, the question is out somebody you'd like to meet you haven't. So I'll be dropping that throughout this show. Bill Codville here is a fella that I've had the great pleasure of meeting. So he's one. I'd like to meet Paul. Balderdash, I tell you, Balderdash. I love Paul. Anyway, it'd be fun to meet Paul. We've got Little Runaway. Del Shannon tragically unalived himself some years ago. It was a great shame. The Stroll, Surf and Safari, Beach Boys are on here. You know, this is Book of Love, Love Potion #9. On and on it goes. It's just chock full of hit after hit after hit. And it's a hell of a fine movie, too. Francis Ford Coppola, 1972 or 1973. I think it came out in 73, but it was taking place in 62. Where were you in 62? I think was the tagline. Yeah. 44 original hits from the soundtrack of American Graffiti. So there you go. That's fun. Now, another record you can really dance to. This goes a big shout out. Another fella I'd love to meet would be this character coming out, but we'll also say I want to meet Hurt too because he's adorable. I love him. But the guy who champions this album is somebody that I think we should all meet. He's a legend in the vinyl community. Relatively new in the great scheme of things, but he is just magical. Is my mic acting up on you? How's it going now, boys and girls? I apologize for mic trouble. Ice Castles, the Reverend Rock and Rollin'. This is the beauty of Marvin Hamlish, a 1970s icon, boys and girls. And Robbie Benson, who was so adorable, and a cast of thousands, literally. Lynn Holly Johnson appears as Lexi. This is a dog-eared copy that my good friend Rob the Wax gifted me. I'm so thrilled to have my own personal copy of Ice Castles. But I mean, if you can skate, well, certainly you can dance to it. So Ice Castles is a fun record. It's fun, okay? We're putting fun back in music. All right. Now, what could be more fun, boys and girls, than a compilation album? And you know what's fun? Fun rock. This is fun, all right? Isn't that beautiful? Fun rock. Look at this artwork. No expense was spared. Fun rock album. Isn't it great? Isn't that beautiful? I want to thank Sue, Mrs. Ghost, for putting everything together, the gorgeous lights and the tree, the Christmas tree. Very seasonal for this year's Vinyl Community Tag 26. Bread and Butter. I like bread and butter. Remember that one? Duke of Earl. You know, it's in there. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, kiss him goodbye. Na, 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 na. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodbye. Hats off to Larry. You talk too much. That's what people say about me. Probably saying that about this very broadcast. But anyway, fun rock because it's fun. Yeah, One-Eyed, One-Horned, Purple People Eater. That's in here too. Okay. Crispy, we love you. Crispy, have you got a wrench? Has she got a wrench too? Check on that. We love Crispy. Atta girl. Okay, let's take a look here. Next question. Okay, so those were my top 3 soul dance records. A real stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love. Why the hate? Why the hate? What's wrong with you? Well, that's a good question. I'm going to go with the last song on side 4 of the Beatles' White Album, or simply entitled "The Beatles" with the, you know, the Beatles. I don't know if you can see it, but there they are. There it is, the Beatles. This is, oh, show my number. There you go. This is a 1968. I was blurry for a bit. This is a 1968 top loader UK with the pictures, the poster, all the goodies, all original, 1968. And I want to thank PB Thel, who out of his great love for me gifted this to me. Okay, I thought for sure you would have mentioned the mega dance classic, YMCA. YMCA, fantastic. Hello to all our gay friends and neighbors out there, by the way. Anyway, White Album, 1968. This is your original gangster. We call them OGs, original gangster, first press. All right. Now, this next question is one of the heavy lifting ones. If you had to pick only one album, hold on. I didn't finish that. Okay, so what is the song I hate? Well, I said it's Good Night. I don't like it because it's such a I don't know. It's such a throwaway song, and I don't like it because Ringo sings it. Okay, let's be clear. I like Ringo. Don't get me wrong. Ringo's a fab. I love all the Fabs. They're my favorite band of all time. I got Beatles all over, and I got Beatles up there, and I got Beatles in here. I got Beatles everywhere. So, but this song by Ringo, it just, now it's time to say good night. Good night. And it's just kind of a nothing song to me. I think if John had sang it, I think it would have turned something quite mundane. And I don't hate the song. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing the Beatles did that I hate. If they put music down, I like it. Guaranteed. There's nothing I hate, but it's not my favorite song. And it's my least favorite on the album, definitely. So there you go. Rach, after you wrap up this bullshit, will you do a show plea? Well, maybe we will. Well, maybe I will. We'll just see. But this is going to be just strictly to the plot. And we're doing this, David Atkinson, and there's going to be a link there for it and everything. Hold on, what's this? Trump is a giant piece of silver. Interesting comment. Well, thank you for that, Herc. Okay, next item, next question. If you had to pick only one album for each of the last 6 decades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh God, what would they be? Well, I was alive for all of them. I got to do this in the proper order of the release. My God. Okay, hang on. Okay, so the tail end of the 1960s introduced probably my favorite album of all time. It's really hard to say, do I have a favorite Beatles album? It is a Beatles album. Represented the 60s, the greatest band of all time. The Beatles is Abbey Road. This album set the template for recording throughout the 1970s. The introduction of the Moog synthesizer by our friend Mr. George Harrison, the gravedigger here. Paul the Barry with the cancer stick, barefoot, ready for burial. Ringo, the funeral director, and John Lennon, all in white, symbolizing my Lord and Savior Jesus. Merely a symbol, merely a representation. But this is all happenstance. They never meant any of it. They go 28 if. If Paul had been alive, he would have been 28, but that's incorrect. He would have been 27. So it does. All the math doesn't add up. It's all kind of nonsensical. But there you go, the Beatles and Abbey Road. Best album of the 1960s. Best. I just love the album. And again, it's so sophisticated. It's beautiful. The music, I can hear it over and over. And it's probably the Beatle album I've listened to more than any other. We move into the 1970s, but we don't get far into the 1970s. And we get my favorite Led Zeppelin album. This is the one that was really the one I grew up with. It was the one that I had in my collection back in the 70s. I had a couple. I had Houses of Holy too, but this was my favorite. Of course, it's got Stairway to Heaven on it. But I've been a long time since the rock and roll. 4 Sticks, When the Levee Breaks, on and on it goes. Going to California with some flowers in my hair. La, da, da, da. So they call it the faggot album. That's a faggot of sticks right there. Faggot of sticks. A lot of people don't know that. And but this is a 1970s reissue Canadian pressing, so it's pretty good. Okay, story here from Eric. Good to see you, Rach. I'm leaving work, so I'm going to miss the rest of this early tag. Yeah, I'm one of the first to get out and do it, but I want to hit while the iron's hot, get the excitement going for David. We now move from the 70s to 1980s. 1982, one of my favorite bands from the 1980s, XTC. I've got their entire discography from the 1980s period into the 1990s, all the way up to, Venus Flytrap or whatever they call it. But anyway, this English Settlement featuring the White Horse of Wolfington, just a few miles away from Swindon, from their beloved Swindon. This is a remaster remix of the album, and it came out in a double, but this is a special 200-gram, beautiful sounding, beautifully mastered album. I just love this thing. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime, which is fantastic. I just love it. So anyway, English Settlement. Now we're moving into the 90s. So again, it didn't take long into the 90s. This album I'm picking because of my good friend Joey Callio. He appears in the band Data. I don't think this came out on vinyl when it was first introduced. Somebody helped me out with that. I believe it was just a compact disc only presentation. But just this year or last year, it was reissued on this gorgeous double set vinyl. And Joey Callio signing the project for me, which I'm just so grateful to him, to Rachel and Sue, RNS, Rachel and Sue. The album's called Puzzle, and of course it had their hit Disneyland on it. That is a fantastic band. And I got to tell you, kids, if you want to show me some vinyl with some gorgeous color. Look at that. Look at the color. Holy smokes, at Christmas? So just absolutely gorgeous. So appreciative, so grateful to Joey. I'm a big fan of his. So Data gets the 1992 or the decade of the 90s, right? He's my guy. My favorite band of the 90s doesn't fall to my beloved Joey. Probably my favorite band of the 90s has got to be these guys, Oasis. And it brings us to 2005's Don't Believe the Truth. I choose this one because I wanted to get Oasis into the showing. But also my cousin, Reese Evans, my second cousin. This is an amazing thing. I'm a big person into genealogy. Reese Evans' family comes from a small town in North Wales, where my family comes from, and it's called Wynfawr. And his dad, let me work on it. His grandfather was the half brother of my granny. So his granddad and my granny were half brother and sister. And there's a great picture. Sue, actually, can you hand me that picture there? This is now that one. Yeah, just bring that, please. Thank you. She's so helpful. So this is what's remarkable. Here's Sue and my son John. They're walking the little path in North Wales where my great-grandmother's house and the great-grandmother Reese Evans are there. They're the one and the same person. Another tidbit is my second cousin, 2 times removed, went and bought this for my first cousin, 3 times removed, who was the chairman of the board of the English or the British Gramophone Company. That is Abbey Road Studios. And there's a very excited Rachel's ghost outside going, oh my God, I'm at Abbey Road. Anyway, we did a whole bunch of stuff. I'm happy down by the Thames River, St. Paul's. Love the UK. So everybody, we love that. We move into the late 2020s. And in 2023, a very good friend of ours, Angelo Kelly. And Angelo Kelly, he's going to get more. I'll mention him again later in the program, but he's a fellow I'd love to meet. Angelo, I just love him. Such a great sense of humor, funny guy, and gets my show. And that's the thing that just, it never ceases to amuse me. Here's the deal, kids. Gorgeous green. Look at this Irish green for Kelly. You're not going to get a more Irish name than Kelly. Angelo Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, is gorgeous. So the album is called Grace. It's a very introspective album. It's a AAA recording from start to finish, all analog. Angelo took great pains to make sure that this album was produced to the highest standards available. This guy's got an amazing voice to go with an amazing personality. I'm a genuine fan. I love this guy a lot. And I highly encourage people to grab this album. And particularly those in Europe. If you're in Canada, it costs you a small fortune to have this. And I want to thank Angela, who actually gifted me this copy, because I was looking for it. I was on the hunt. He's got a brand new album out, folks. I want you to support Angelo Kelly and make sure you're out there buying his stuff. If you love Celtic music, if you love traditional music, folk music, this is your guy. He is a proper international star. Right there. Herc's on the money. Herc knows. All right. Next question's kind of fun. Okay. You get the opportunity to spend a day alone with one artist. Okay. You're going to walk a mountain trail. Well, maybe we won't do that. You go to the beach, you hang out in the city. We could do that. Who would be that artist? Well, for me, I think there would be nobody more interesting to talk to in my mind in the world of rock and roll, in the world of music, than this well-lived individual, my favorite solo artist of all time, notwithstanding the legend that was John Lennon or Elvis Presley, but the honor goes to Bob Dylan. This is Trouble No More. This is the bootleg series 79-81. This is his Christian period. And I'm a Christian. I identify as a born again type Christian, an evangelical, a Bible reading. Sue was giving me hell today for not reading my Bible. She said, when was the last time you read your Bible? I know, I'm just finished Psalm 23. I'm working from Genesis to Revelation again. But anyway, did you? Okay. Quit bragging on me. She bragging on me. She beat me. I put these in my shelf. They gathered up. But anyway, Bob Dylan, Trouble No More. So Bob Dylan's the guy I would want to meet. He's older. The days and the chances are becoming fewer and fewer as age catches up with all of us, right? But I'd love to meet Bob. And what is the question? The next question here is, what would I ask him? I would ask him about his spiritual beliefs. I said, Bob, would you mind talking to me a little bit about this? Have you re-embraced your Hebrew roots? What's going on? What's your opinion of Jesus Christ in 2025? Was he just a prophet, or was he that supernatural bolt of lightning that changed your life? Okay. True crime people. All right. Well, I hope you're talking to my friend Danny After Dark. She's my true crime go-to. I love Danny After Dark. She's beautiful. The next question is, and I'll get you the number for it. Okay. A show record contains a track that always brings a tear to your eye. Or are you a heartless bastard? No, I'm a suck. I'm the most sentimental slob. I can cry over anything. Well, what got me crying the other day, Sue? I started to choke up.
Weren't you crying this morning when you got your new thingy?
Oh, wow. Okay. That was quick. I'm sorry, Vinyl Tag. Okay, we'll do it another time. Okay, no apology necessary. My producer's guiding me every step of the way. It is a gorgeous setting for this Vinyl Tag. I get teary when I listen to, what is even the name of this? Kenny Robbins with Jim Messina, Sitting In. The two boys are sitting in. But there is a song on here called The House at Pooh Corner. And I'm a sentimental slob. And the line that says, there's so much to be done. Counting the bees in the hive, I just love the notion that, I forget the lyric, but the line is like, there's so much to be done today. We've got a lot of chores. We've got a lot of projects underway. And one of them, we got to count all the bees in the hive. The innocence, the sweetness of that brings a tear to my eye. I just love it. And then the other line that really kind of gets me is does anybody here know how to loosen the jar from the nose of a bear? I just think it's so sweet and so adorable, so kind and gentle-spirited that it brings a tear to my eye. And you know what else gets me? Puff the Magic Dragon kills me with the little Jackie paper. Didn't come by one day. He just refused to come by anymore. And Puff the Mighty Dragon ceased his mighty roar. This giant, powerful, mythological beast loses its power, and green scales fall like rain. Peter Yarrow writing this song, he said, because it's very sad, but he said at the end, he actually had written another verse where Puff doesn't truly die, that another child comes along, another child is born and comes of age, and they pick him up and then they go on adventures together, sinking pirate vessels and going on adventures. Gosh. All right. Can we tissue? All right, here we go. So anyway, I love that stuff. It's very, I'm a sentimental slob. Name an artist. This is kind of an interesting one. It's not my favorite question because it always, I'm going to get a whole bunch of Trump bashing going on, all this kind of crap. But anyway, uh, what is this? But it's a good liberal question, I guess. Uh, okay. Okay. Show an album from an artist whose character disappoints you, or can you separate the artist from the art? I totally separate the artist from the art. It's very easy for me to do. Very easy for me to do. And Patrick Schlosser was got a line. Rach, have you lost weight? Yeah, I've lost about 100 pounds. I'm 211 right now. 210 showed up briefly, however briefly on the scale today. So within the next few days, I expect to be 210. Okay, it's featured in Footloose. Footloose. Rachel, you look better than ever. Gosh, I'm just a young girl learning about myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not disappointed by human nature. We're a fallen species. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's got psychological trauma. Who knows what the hell happened to this guy? But I loved this guy as a kid. And it did disappoint me when I learned that he was a pedophile. Okay. Rolf Harris groomed a young girl, a friend, a daughter of their friends, neighbors, something like this, who he knew for years. It's a horrific crime. Depravity, psychological damage. Do I hate the guy? No, I don't. And can I still sing Jake the Peg with his extra leg, dibby, dibby, dibby dump? Can I still say, tie me kangaroo down, sport, oh, tie me kangaroo down? And can I still do 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run? Yeah, I can still give her, right? Rolf did all that. A talented guy, a tortured guy, a flawed human being without exception. And the same goes for Gary Glitter and any number of them. Trouble all over the place. Trouble all over the place. Right? Has Patrick Schlosser got his wrench? All right. Patrick, I'm glad you got your wrench, buddy. Anyway, Rolf Harris. But, as for the political stuff, like Bruce Springsteen's a big lefty and all that, I'm a Trumpy bear, right? Let's do it for the final tag. Okay. Let's make America great again. All right. So that's my team, right? I'm a conservative. That's how I vote. That's how I like it. But like people like Bruce Springsteen on the opposite side of the aisle, or John Waters, people like this, not John Waters. That's a important thing. No, Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. Like guys like that are outspoken politically, it doesn't bother me. And even the guys on my side of the aisle, like who's the Irish guy? Morrison. Van Morrison. Van Morrison's outspoken, or Eric Clapton. Those guys don't bug me. Of course, they wouldn't bug me. I agree with them ideologically, but if they get political, that doesn't. I don't. What the hell? People have opinions. People have different ideas. Don't take it so seriously, world. Don't take it so seriously if you can avoid it at all times. Okay, next question. Anyway, so you get into it. The question brings this kind of response. Okay, if you had to sell all your vinyl, God forbid, along with your record player, God forbid, show the one album you'd hold on to as a keepsake. The one I'd really hold on to, and whenever this question comes up, I mention my father, my biological father. I was adopted. And my dad, my bio dad, who I never had the privilege of meeting, he died in 2004. He cut a little 45. So obviously I'd hold on to that. But of the big things, I guess I'd get one album to represent my band, my favorite band. Really, the story of me and music is synonymous with this band. They're my raison d'etre for record collecting, for being with the Beatles. Being in the vinyl community. It's the Beatles. I owe everything musically to the Beatles. I have guitars in the house. Normally aren't decorated this way. But I have guitars in the house because the Beatles were such a huge influence. But here they are. This is a first UK pressing. And I've got a note in here. This was gifted to me from one of our friends in the vinyl community. Well, it wasn't gifted. I actually bought it, but he was prepared to sell it. And he gave me a fair price. I'm so happy. So this is great. Okay. Boom. There you go. So that would be the one. Okay. Now, favorite biopic. Favorite. Okay. Biopic. Okay. Show. Okay. Show. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here's the Oh, I missed that one. Okay. Record player. I got to go back to 13. Show an album from an artist who's not. Show 3 albums from artists you've tried to love, but you're questioning why you bother. This is the only question I think is really lacking. You know why it's lacking? Because if it's an artist I try to like and I don't like, why would I even have any of their albums? So I don't have any albums like that to even show anybody. And basically, I could kind of put up with anything. If I like something, I'll always like it. If I don't like something, seldom is the case where I eventually go around to coming around to going, wow, I hated that, but now I love it. I'm not built that way. I don't go that way. So it doesn't happen. So I can't do that question for you. David. Okay. Okay. Discuss your VC highlight of 2025. Okay, yeah, it's not the biopic. I got to do this first. Discuss your VC highlight 2025. If that's a video, link to it, but it could be a meetup or some event. Okay, favorite vinyl, thing of the year. Holy smokes, let me see if I can get it. Am I going to be this good? I think I'm this good. This is the beauty of doing this live. I can share this live. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play a little bit of it. It's 3 minutes long. We don't have time, but we'll do a little bit to get you a sense. I'm not ignorant of the fact that being transgender itself can be a turnoff for a whole bunch of people.
Well, and for a lot of
don't even want to expose themselves to a person like that.
A lot of conservative people too.
Correct. For most of my life, I lived as David was my name. And a lot of people just say, you know what? I don't even think of you as male or female or anything. You're just Rachel. Good morning. It's election day. Vote like your life depends on it. All right. There we go. So that is a cut from a documentary called The TV Show. And this is the trailer for it. And it's really wrapping up now. I don't know if there's even any time left on the dial. He's got 2 more days to go see this thing. It costs you $6 to watch the documentary. Then it's being pulled from the internet. So we really encourage you to support Greg. It has nothing to do with me other than the fact I'm the star of the flick. Okay. And but other than that, it's Greg's vision, OJC's in the vinyl community. And that's my highlight, to have a documentary. It centers on the U.S. election for 2024. Who is this David guy? Eddie, he's one of our English vinyl community members, just like you're an American vinyl community member. He's an English type one. Anyway, that's the deal. Here's the documentary. Head over there, watch the trailer. But definitely try and support him. Throw $6 Greg's way. This is all done on his dime, and but it's obviously the highlight to have it's about a 33-minute documentary. And the nice thing is a lot of people said, our one complaint, Rachel, it could have been longer. It could have been longer. Isn't that nice? So the documentary, just head over to Soju Docs. And over at sojudocs.com, Sue will drop a link. to it. All right. And I think she's ahead of me. There you go. Head over there, please, and support Greg. That's my request. And he's a super nice guy. Yeah. Thanks, Crispy. We appreciate that. Okay. More questions here. We're almost done. Okay, 3 record, yeah. Artist from the art. Can you separate the artist from art? I can. If you had to sell all the vinyl, which album would you hold to? Sgt. Pepper, the UK first press. My highlight was that video. Name your favorite musical biopic if you have one. Okay, so biopic, right? Biopic. My favorite is this. The Rattles, the true story of the Beatles. Some people have said that this thing is probably hit closer to home in the reality of the Beatles than you could ever imagine. This is a joint combination from Saturday Night Live crew, Lorne Michaels, Canadian legend, now in New York for many, many years, and Eric Idle of Monty Python fame. And it's got John Belushi and a whole bunch of Saturday Night Live alumni. It's got Gilda Radner in there. But it's really funny. Barry Wamsley, the drummer for the Ruddles, this guy is an actual drummer that Larry Graves, another guy I'd love to meet for real, Larry Graves. This guy actually drums on Transformer, Lou Reed's Transformer. This is Ricky Fattar, plays George Harrison, the Indian, kind of humorous. And for George Harrison fans, if you know, you know. This guy was in the Beach Boys. Eric Idle's in there. And then you've got Neil Innes. I think it's Neil. Yeah, Neil Innes. And he's from Monty Python. He did a lot of the music for Python and the Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and other Monty Python ventures. He's a musical guy. He also appears in the movie Holy Grail himself as one of the minstrel crew running along with Sir Robin the Chicken, a song, I believe, penned by Neil Innes. Absolutely genius of a guy. I have always thought in the back of my mind, cheese and onions. Do I have to spell it out? CHEESEANDONIONS. Oh, no. All right. And I love the Ruddles so much that not only do I have the DVD, but I had to have the album available on Warner Brothers Records. I bought this back when it came out. I want to say 1978. 1978. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you know better, Beatle people, let me know in the comments below. All right. Jazz. We're going to go on to jazz. Holy smokes, we got a jazz question. Give 3 reasons why jazz matters and show a favorite album. One reason jazz matters is the expression of the human soul, music. So it should be seen in the same light as rock and roll, folk music, country music, anything, right? It's all just music, right? At the end of the day, it's just music. And and also some of these great recordings that we're being privy to now, and when Sue, you and I have been very blessed to have, my producers right here off camera, we've been blessed to have a lot of people gift us different records, jazz records, and we're grateful to all our friends that have really helped Sue along. Sue's more of the jazz person than I am. She's the one that will go to her jazz collection. If I'm going to play some music, it's always going to be jazz from her, not pop or rock, which is where I'm going to be. So that's one good reason. It's music of the soul and it's human. Another reason has been some great jazz movies, great films where jazz has been the soundtrack, has moved the music along in such an important way, moved the movie along in such an important way. So the jazz adds the atmosphere, adds the character. So all your film noir, for example, would not exist if you didn't have jazz. And the third reason is I kind of like it. And I have my favorites. My favorite artist is Dave Brubeck, but I like Bill Evans. And I like, Chet Baker. I like Chet Baker. I've got a number of Chet Baker. Sue is not as keen on Chet Baker as I am, but I like Chet Baker. So, but my favorite, the album I'm going to show, really approachable, of course, Time Out, Dave Brubeck Quartet. I want to say, again, 1959 for this thing, 1959. But this is just absolutely wonderful, right? And this is the way you want to do it. Anyway, bada bing, bada boom, Time Out, right? Get this one. Take 5, right? Take 5. Okay, so there's my jazz question. Good question, David. David Atkinson, our host. And I'm going to put a link. Not only I'm going to drop all the questions in the description, but I'm going to put a link to David's channel after the fact. Okay. Okay. You're an innocent man or woman on death row. They give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? What do you ask for? My last musical request. Again, I'm a Christian, so my faith is paramount. It's really near and dear to me. Seaferg has joined us. Richard, you're looking like such a dainty, pretty thing these days. Are you half the woman you used to be? I'm not half the woman that goes over. Yep. Something like that, Seaford. Hi, Real Jackson. I love you. We're doing the 2026 final tag. We're out the gate with it. Larry Norman, In Another Land, is my dying request for music. There is a song on here called, I can't remember. Gotta remember because it's like a medley. This was gifted to me, a 1976 album gifted to me by Marty in Oregon, my good friend Marty, who I love. This is a song called Hymn to the Last. It ends with this song called Hymn to the Last Generation. Hymn to the Last Generation. Stand beside us. Come to reason. Face the day. Those are some of the lyrics in that final song. He will guide us. Yeah, in another land, in another land. Da, 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 da. And it's just anthemic. It's hymn to the last generation. It's anthemic. It's full of hope and promise of the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. Praise God, glory to God. Even so, come Lord Jesus. I'm big on it. Larry Norman, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say John Wetton from King Crimson. If I got the name wrong, give me the proper name, but it's Wetton. It's the last name. Played bass with King Crimson. He was also lead vocalist for Asia. It was the heat of the moment. That's his voice. He plays bass on here. Dudley Moore, piano player. Beatle Babe's favorite, Dudley Moore. And Beatle Babe gets a mention because she's another human I would like to meet, Beatle Babe. But Larry Norman, In Another Land, fantastic. This would be my final. And the next question, moving on, and that whole album I would listen to. It's just so good. I highly recommend it. Whether you're religious or not, just get it. It's a rock album. It's a beautiful album. And it's Abbey Road. I think they recorded Abbey Road. Okay. Sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album. Explain why they should take time for it. All right. Well, Bob Dylan's my favorite solo artist, but another artist I love who did pretty good for himself in the world of solo activity is John Lennon. And of course, this is plastic. The album's called Plastic Ono Band. Yoko's got her version. Yoko. She's got her version of this. This is John's Primal Therapy special. As you can see from the purple label, this is an 80s reissue. I got an OG US first press as well. I just grabbed one out. I have a couple of copies of this because I'm a Beatle freak and I got multiple copies of anything related to the Beatles. But this is a Plastic Ono Band and John Lennon pouring his soul out, right? Mama, you had me, but I never had you. It's an intimate album. It's a brutally honest album. I don't believe in Beatles. Boom, silence, right? I just believe in me, Yoko and me. And so that was John. He kind of turned his back on everything and turned inward in on himself and Yoko. Don't you miss the big time, boy. You're no longer on the ball, right? He quit, became the house husband for 5 years, had Sean Ono. Is it January the 1st? No, it's a vinyl tag created by British legend David Atkinson. I'm so happy and I'm so glad you're here, Rob, to be part of the ushering in of the official 2026 vinyl tag. But John Lennon is an artist well worth tuning in for. He makes no compromises. He's bold. He's raw. He tells it the way it is, tells it the way he sees it. May not actually be the truth, the greater truth, but he tells it honestly. He tells it with conviction. He tells it with passion. It's my favorite Beatle. It's John Lennon. Invest and get there. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it, but I think we may be at the final question. You are arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Excluding those you've already met, invite 3 people you'd like most to meet. Well, I put their images on the front of the thumbnail for today. One of them is Loki Teo. No order. Loki Teo is a faceless, brilliant, exasperating, enigmatic, troubling, friend of mine, and he's been a huge support to my channel. And and he's mad at me right now. He's mad at me for me being me, and I can't, like Lennon. I'm not going to move. And 4D knows this. Another guy I want to meet, 4D, another guy I want to meet. But Loki's his little avatar. He doesn't show up on camera, but he's there on the cover, and I wanted to honor him that way. So Loki Teo is one guy I wanted to meet. The other guy's on the cover, and it's our good friend Angelo Kelly, superstar, funny. He enjoys my show, so I'd like to meet, or truly like to meet Angelo. Give him a hug, give him a lot of love. And this guy, he's not on the cover, but I'd like to meet him. I love Brian. He's a good guy. Okay. I stain him a lot. I give him a lot of grief, but he's a good guy. And I love Brian. And he means well. He truly, truly means well. He's a very sincere guy. We love him. Okay. Who else is on the cover? Mean Mr. Mayo, Joe Mayo. I'd love to meet Joe. I care about him. I'd mentioned Larry Graves. Larry and Joe were the two of the first channels I ever watched. So Larry would be a guy I'd like to watch. And Larry's crew, his posse, Glenn Calloway would be on there. I'd love to meet him. Robert from Robert's on My Turntable. Ladies and gentlemen, full disclosure, I'd love to meet every one of you, right? Every one of you I'd love to meet. So who else do I have? I got Joe. I got Loki Teo. And I know there's one of you other kids that I put on the cover that I definitely wanted to meet, but I don't have it here right now. You're on the cover. If you're on the cover, it tells you I wanted to meet you. But these are people I haven't met that I'd like to meet. Brother Brian, I'd love to meet Brother Brian. I like Brother Brian. I have a lot of respect for Brother Brian. He's been through a lot. Smart guy. Some of my worst... well, you're nice, Tokyo. Brian, you're a nice guy. You're a good guy. That's just me. It's a show. I do a show, okay? At the end of the day, I do a show. But I like to meet everybody. Rob Walker, obviously, I'd love to meet Rob. Sounds like you want to meet a lot of boring people. Oh, I want to meet you, Rob. I'd love to walk about Mancunian Manchester with you and do the Manchester thing. Headley, another bearded fat man, talk about records. Headley's not that heavy set anymore. Headley, I like to meet John, 6-inch pianist. Also, Gramophone, the digital gramophone, who's recovering from surgery. Masri's been sharing. So good thoughts, well wishes going out to John. But everybody, all of you. Jason Rojas, what the hell? Let's give Jason a hug, right? Everybody needs a hug. And DJ Trish, I've got to meet DJ Trish, right? Don't we need to meet DJ Trish? Beetle Babe and a cast of thousands, right? All of you, we'll meet you all. Okay, David Atkinson, this is the end. This is the end. We didn't show a Doors album. Oh, sorry, Eddie. I got to meet you. Thank you. I want to meet Eddie. Yeah, this is a whole thing, right? You're always going to leave somebody out. Okay? You're always going to leave somebody out. But Eddie, I love you, man. And you've been one of the biggest and longest. PB Tall. I got to meet PB Tall. Holy shit. See, this will never end. What a question this is. Well, he told me, Renee, I got to meet Renee. Don't walk away, Renee. You see, David, this is the kind of question you created. This is what happened. Okay, do you guys want me to continue broadcasting? I'll start a new stream. Why not? We'll do it. I'll come back. We'll hang out for a bit. We'll play around. I'll do another show. Maybe we'll see. If we get 100 people in, I'll stay. And if we don't, then we won't. All right. Bye. Poof. This is it. I'll put the link in for David. I want to meet Paul. Want to meet Wolf.